Cancer, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are brand new here or cross-watching, make sure you come into the channel, hit the thumbnail, come in and check out the playlist I just laid down for 2026, your signs. And if you like them, hit that thumbs up, would you? Join, subscribe. Cancer, don't forget to leave some comments on the community page. That's open now, so I'm going to leave some videos at the end of this video also, so you can check those out. All right, we're going to get into your reading. Cancer, I hope you have made yourself some good plans for the new year, okay? I personally am going to challenge myself to, try to hit the channel a little bit harder. I'm working on some new projects. Just some little thank yous to the subscribers. I personally like to use haiku as type of meditation for me personally. It's kind of taking my thoughts and turning them into haiku poems and things. So I'm going to start leaving some haiku poems, myth of the day, some collective readings, things like that at the end of these, reading sessions, all for you guys. They are a little cheesy, but it's from the heart. And so that's where I'm going with that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to try to start doing that. I'm also going to try to start smiling a little more. I'm also going to try to get over this cold that has been kicking my butt. Allergies, right? This up and down weather. Where I'm at, it can't decide whether it wants to, drop to 20 or 30 or stay 80. All right, let's get into the read here. I'm going to lay these out, so if you want to fast forward, you can. But anyway, I hope you stick with your goals, okay? I hope that you challenge yourself not to be too disappointed in yourself if you don't reach your goals. To take more of a relaxed approach. Don't let things bother you as much, right? The tension, the stress, that kind of thing. I hope your finances come in for you. I wish you peace. I wish you love if you're looking for relationships or the one that you're in. I wish you the honoring hug here. Okay, so in your present energy, Cancer. Nice. All right. A celebration of some kind, right? The Six of Wands. This could be your present energy that you're just having a good time. Things are looking good. You're being celebrated for something. You could have just got a promotion of some kind. You could have, went to the casino and hit a pretty good lump sum. Nice. People around you are celebrating you. Okay. We will reflect back to these cards along the way. So I just got my camera on the top down, so I'm trying to get used to it. I apologize. Page of Cups in your challenge. Okay. This could be an offering of some kind, a love offering. It could also be an idea, clarity. Okay. But it's kind of the spontaneous offering. It's kind of an energy that says, there's a newness to something, some idea, an emotional response, or, somebody's flirtatious. Somebody has somebody could be in your mix that's flirting with you. Maybe really good with their words. Okay. Showing you a good time, made you an offering. I'd like to take you out on a date. I'd like to, go roller skating with 4 wheels. No, I don't know. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to look at now in the first row up here, this underlying, what's underneath the hood here for Pisces. I just got done with Pisces. For Cancer, I'm sorry. What's underneath the hood? A little bit of guardedness. You're protecting your investments. You're protecting your strength. A little bit of wounded soldier scenario there with the 9 of Wands, right? You're showing up, though. That's the thing. That's the key to this whole takeaway of the 9 of Wands, okay? You're still hanging in there, a little guarded, a little protected, but you're still hanging on, okay? And it makes sense because your next card in the underlying energies is the 4 of Pentacles, okay? This could be holding on to the responsibility of a a burdensome type contract that you might be in. This could talk about moving in, out, and away from materialistic greed, like switching jobs, but you're still kind of in this position where I have to hang on to this job till something better takes place. But holding on to something, so that's what that is referring to. And the good thing about it is, right, you have a Knight of Pentacles offering here in this underlying energies. So you could be a person who owns a business, offering a job to somebody or support of some type. But the Knight of Pentacles is very, very, very steadfast, very astute. And it's kind of like when I make a plan. So this person that we're speaking about here, Cancer, your energy says that I like all of the ducks in a row, especially when it comes to financial or when it comes to romance. You're more of a logical approach type person like this. I need everything to line out. Okay. That's the underlying energies. Okay. Okay. Now this next row right here, we're going to take a look at the recent past. Okay. And it's kind of neat, neat for me to see, but you went from the 9 of Wands in the underlying energy to the 7 of Wands. So in numerology, we're going backwards now. You're letting go. Okay. You're letting go of the past of some kind, wounds, trauma, that type of situation. Cancer, what it also tells me is that there might be just a hint of an unpreparedness. Try to spit that out, okay? But there may be a little bit of unpreparedness. That is tough for me to go with, okay? I'm having a situation with trying to speak right now, so there could be some energy involving communication. Interesting here, okay? We have the Knight of Swords, right? I say that to say that there may be some communication coming in that may be a little choppy in the recent past, or may have been a little choppy, not clear. Somebody may have not been very clear with what they said. The Knight, while they're not I am still losing my voice with you, Cancer. So I'm talking about some kind of communication situation here, definitely. I'm picking up on that energy. That's why I'm doing that, because I don't normally stutter my words. Excuse me. And I am dealing with this chess scenario. Okay. But yeah, the Knight of Swords is not the most patient in the world. So in the recent past, there could have been something that left you a little unprepared and you didn't expect this information to come in. But in the recent past as well, I keep wanting to go to that other camera, we had the Ace of Swords. So there was something too good to be true. There was an emotional breakthrough, an aha situation, and which may explain why now you're letting down your guard, okay? So I feel like in the financial side of this, things are starting to pick up and get better. Relationship-wise, it's that emotional relationship you have with the investments you've made. That could be people, that could be a particular person in general. Your crossing challenge, remember, was the Page. You know what? I'm gonna go to that damn camera. I'm gonna do it. The Page of Cups, remember? The crossing challenge. So there's maybe you're trying to get your finances in order before you make an offering of some kind. Okay. You would like to make an offering to somebody, maybe. Your crossing challenge could be you're waiting for that offering to come back to you as well. So we're going to move on now to the next row. And this is the possibilities for Cancer, okay? We have the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so the possibilities are there's this very passive energy, feminine, doesn't have to be feminine, but somebody who's very nurturing, very supportive, financially stable. It's the card of luxury. It's the card of, and we're not talking about necessarily like so filthy rich I can't stand to be around people. I mean that she's very nurturing spirit, okay? And she is abundant in all things. So there's an abundance in the near future that is either, something that will be reciprocated back to you, or that you are this person in this offering. So there's some kind of an opportunity here to maybe come across a person who is very mature, right? The 9 of Pentacles has all of the goods, the whole package. So also in the possibilities, we have the 5 of Wands, okay? So in that possibilities, there could be a situation where there may be some kind of a conflict. Now that's kind of the generic way of saying that this could apply to, part of that financial situation, the offering of a love offering or an emotional offering or that brand new idea. And I feel like it's more about the idea that you're coming up with. You know, you could be creating a channel, like for instance in YouTube, and there's so many different options that you have. How do I start? How do I begin? But it could also talk about there's somebody in your mixed, a group of people outside, external, okay, that's causing some kind of a commotion, some kind of a, this could be jealousy. This could be, you know, we did have the Six of Wands, okay? And the kicker about the Six of Wands, that was your present energy, remember? So the kicker about the Six of Wands, if you'll notice, there is a little person over here staring up at the rider, okay? And some say what that could represent is a little bit of jealousy, like you don't deserve to win. So somebody in your mix, this could be your work environment. We do have the Pentacles here. And you're in your underlying energy, you have the Four of Pentacles. So holding on to something. This could be like, say, I want to leave my job, but my best friend works here. And she's constantly like, don't leave. Or what am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. So that emotional kind of thing. It's like, you don't want to, you don't want to hurt your bestie's friend, but it ain't working. I got to go. You know, that type of thing. Also, like I said, financial wise, excuse me, it could be referring to the emotional turbulence that may be taking place or a possibility of that. So we're going to move on here. And the same possibilities, you have the Hierophant, okay? Now, the Hierophant could represent to you traditional ways. It could represent something about in your possibilities that there may be an offering of some kind, a spiritual offering, an enlightenment, something, an aha that says, I need to investigate more of an emotional stance on this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to move on and I'll clarify that. And the reason I say that is because it's followed here. Yep, by the moon. Okay. And this is in your near future. Now, in that situation, there could be a representation of maybe Pisces in your timeline, Cancer. So, but what the moon represents is those hidden aspects, things that are lying underneath. And that's kind of why I said that there's more of a spiritual aspect with that Hierophant coming up. So I kind of feel like, Cancer, you're going to need to really, in the near future, there may be some emotional wounding taking place. There may be something that maybe this offering, since that is your crossing challenge with the Page of Cups, there may be something that you need to investigate, to take a look at. Does this remind me? Maybe perhaps you haven't dated in a while or been out in the dating scene or the field, and this kind of brings up some, some kind of an emotion for you. However, there is I say that taking more of a spiritual look is because the Death card showed up right behind it in the near future. Okay. Two major arcana, the moon and then the Death card. So the moon is taking a look at the transformation. This could be an awakening. You could be going through an awakening right now. You could be going through a spiritual transformation. And the Death card following it just confirms the moon. It's saying that you, in the near future here, this situation that's taking place or going to take place, this could be tomorrow, right? This could have been yesterday and you're following into it. But the Death card says that it brings a neutrality into your life. It takes all those shadow aspects. It understands that there's a beginning and there's an ending. The Bishop is standing up looking at the Pale Rider, and he knows that death comes to even the mightiest of kings and to the lowliest of the low. That there is no such thing as death. There is only an evolving scenario and moving it into a spiritual aspect, okay? So we never really die. We just, the transformation of the energy becomes neutral. And so I kind of feel like that's what that is. It's taking those underlying aspects, shadow aspects, past, remember your very first card. Let me show you this in the aisle here. Your very first card in your underlying energy was the Nine of Wands, okay? So you've had some past traumatic issues, or I say issues, some traumatic injuries to the heart space, to the chakra centers, emotional stance, in other words. So I feel like this moon is really going to be opening up those things and healing, because we saw it in your second recent past was the Seven of Wands. So that is all going backwards in the numerology, which means it's all going down. So that's good. Okay, so your last card there in the near future. Get used to it. I'm sorry. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So the Queen is definitely the nurturer. Okay. Grounded. And so I feel like this is your energy saying this is what's going to happen when this transformation takes place. All of your emotional chakra centers are going to line up. Okay. Now, I know that sounds like word salad, but what I really feel like is that this has been an emotional roller coaster for you. And now here's this emotional with this Page of Cups energy, okay? And perhaps all of this sparked an interest in you. Perhaps you're studying into things like soul journeys and twin flame relationships or soul karmic contracts, things like that, okay? But remain in your Six of Wands energy, okay? Because I feel like that's really that is part of being the Queen of Pentacles, is remaining in that kind of energy, okay? So we're going to move on, all right? Now we're going to take a look right now at the self. I want to know, Cancer, how are you showing up in this energy? Let me get you back on here. How are you showing up, Cancer, in this energy? What does it look like for your stance on things, okay? Well, here we go. Okay. We've got the Five of Cups, okay? So the Five of Cups says to me in this particular situation that there feels like a little bit of defeat, and it makes sense if you're going through this energy cycle. This reading could be very specific to an individual. It could apply to a lot of individuals. We all have been in this situation if you've ever gone through any kind of a spiritual awakening. But it feels like there's a defeat of some kind. However, you're really more focused on the things of the past than you are of the future at the moment. But I feel like your transformation's taking place. And remember, you did have the Queen of Pentacles taking place, which means there's going to be groundedness coming. So you may feel aloof, a lost duck, you may feel this energy that I don't belong here. The people I'm around, I've isolated, I've, secluded. You start seeing things in a new light, things that are not emotionally fulfilling to you. You start to retreat and walk away, So I kind of feel like that's what that energy may be talking about, okay? So that's you in the self. So now I want to know what is in Cancer's environment right now, okay? What's in Cancer's environment? Okay, yeah. Right? Seven of Swords. Okay, so maybe this is a situation where, like I said, all of this is really this trickiness and of the Seven of Swords. That's got kind of that shyster trickiness, vendetta. It's I'm a deliberate act of deception, a deliberate act of taking what I want and in vendetta style. So, Cancer, I don't know what environment you are is around you, but I feel like this is what's causing you to finally see the light of the situation. With the Moon card, with the Death card, and then finally, I feel like this is hitting home for you, and perhaps you may be sitting in this right now. You know what I mean? Okay, well, I'm going to move on though. We're going to look at the hopes, the fears, the wishes, and worries for Cancer, okay? I keep forgetting to give you the camera shot there. I'll get used to this camera. I just started using it, so forgive me. Okay, the hopes, the fears, the wishes, and the worries for Cancer right now, okay? The hopes, the fears, the wishes, and the worries. All right. The Fool. Okay. The Fool card. So a brand new beginning. And I couldn't have said that any better, right? Yeah, I kind of feel like whatever this situation that you're in, it really has opened your eyes, okay? The Fool is a brand new beginning, Cancer, a brand new journey. So this is definitely in your energy here, okay? That's you may be manifesting, the Fool card has the ability to manifest. He's unafraid, not scared, ready to explore. You're done with you're done with the trodden path. You're ready to cut your own path, you know what I mean? So really, I feel like that's your mindset right now, and that's a beautiful place to be. And part of that is that present energy that you were in. Remember your very first card. Shit, I'll get the camera right. Six of Wands energy, right? Celebration. So you could be ready to take a trip. You could be a person that's about you've like saved up, and I'm gonna go on a cruise. I'm gonna go snow skiing. I'm gonna go do something. But you're going to take a journey, and you're on that journey. So, okay. Cancer, now we're going to talk about the hopes, the fears, the wishes, and the worries, okay? Or the outcome of that. I'm sorry, I just gave you that card. We're going to look at the outcome. I've been taking medicine for my allergies, so I got a little bit of medicine head going on. Forgive me. So, what is the outcome and direction for Cancer, okay? What is the outcome and the direction for Cancer here? All right. How about a brand new beginning? How about from that beginning there is a harmony, okay? A peace, a security, a sense of security. Okay, this is the outcome. Cancer, this is a beautiful ending here to this reading right here. I feel like I said, this may apply to just a particular individual. It may be confirmation. Am I on this journey? Is this really happening to me? There's a bit of sadness to it because it's like you realize you're leaving behind familiarity. And with the Fool card, it can feel like you're all alone, that nobody really understands. Nobody, no matter how much you try to explain it, even to your best friends, I mean, they'll try to comfort you, right? The best that they can, but it's never enough. Keep in mind that the Fool is alone. We are all fools. We were all born to be the Fool in the zero position. All of our pains, our sufferings, everything is an alone effect. I know that maybe not may not be the comfort that you're looking for, but what I'm trying to say is that your energy is very strong. You have the ability to celebrate, and you do have your challenge card is the Page of Cups, right? And it's like, will I find happiness again? Because I just feel like there's just the dark. You had the Moon, right? Near future, this Moon card, this sudden death card of a new cycle, a new beginning of something that's spiritual in essence. So be patient with yourself. Like I said, from the very first of this reading, be patient, be calm. Focus on loving yourself. Focus on finding every little thing there is in this world to appreciate. Just start a momentum of appreciation and love and realize that it's coming from you, not external. It's all from you. Cancer, I love you. I hope you like this. I hope it's confirmation. Thumb it up, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Come in and leave some messages in the community chat there. Start a conversation. Let me know how you feel, how you're going. So I love you and I appreciate you so much for stopping by, and I hope I get to see you on another one, okay? All right, Cancer. Happy 2026. The 1010. It's brand new. All right, bye.